Have you ever been so bad as a kid that your own mother had to sit on you to make you behave? No? Well, it's probably because you had parents with an ounce of self-control and, well, probably a normal BMI. But not in Michigan, where a 10-year-old boy named Dakota Stevens learned the hard way that foster care isn't always about helping kids. Sometimes it's about collecting a government check and literally crushing the life out of children. My name is Sirius. This is Unfluenced. I got a wild one for you today. Let's get right into it. So let's break this down. A 340-pound woman named Jennifer Wilson, let's call her Big Mama Murder. She got mad at a 91-pound child. She sat on him for 5 minutes while he screamed in agony, and then acted shocked when he went silent. No, really, she thought he was faking until she finally rolled her planet-sized self off of him and realized, oh wow, he's not breathing. This is the tragic but all too predictable result of a broken foster care system, a delusional fat acceptance movement, and a world where timeouts have replaced actual discipline. And the best part, she's facing a whopping 6 years in prison. 6, not life. This sentence isn't even long enough for her to lose any significant weight. Now buckle up, this is going to get dark. Let's talk about this foster care. You've seen the commercials. There are thousands of children who need a loving home. Yeah, sure, but let's be real. Foster care is big business. The government pays foster parents anywhere from $700 to over $2,000 per child per month. That's a nice little payday for someone who just has to exist with children in their home. No actual parenting is required, no proof that you even like children. Just sign some papers and the money starts rolling in. And that's exactly how we end up with people like Jennifer Wilson. Women who probably shouldn't be trusted with a houseplant, let alone multiple vulnerable children. Now think about it. This woman was fostering 4 kids at the time. 4. That means she was making at least $3,000 a month. Probably more, just for keeping them alive. Well, I mean, except for that last part, she kind of failed at that one. And what was the strict punishment for this tragic loss of life? Her foster license was suspended. Oh no, not the ability to make easy money off the suffering of children. That'll teach her. How about instead of reviewing her license for permanent revocation, we review a different policy like not giving children to people who can double as furniture? But that's just part of the story. Let's move on to the real elephant in the room, literally. Now, if you think this was just a random tragedy, think again. This is what happens when we pretend morbid obesity is normal. For years, we've been bombarded with this insane idea that 300 plus pounds is just another way of being healthy. Magazines put morbidly obese women on the cover and call them stunning and brave. People demand larger airplane seats instead of, losing weight. And if you dare to say, hey, maybe weighing as much as a refrigerator isn't ideal, you get canceled faster than a celebrity who tweeted in 2010. Well, congratulations, body positivity movement. You finally got what you wanted. A world where we don't acknowledge obesity as a problem. And the result? Children getting crushed to death by foster parents. Look, if someone can sit on a child and end their life, that is not a body type. That's a medical emergency. If Jennifer Wilson had been a normal weight, Dakota would still be alive. If she'd even been slightly overweight, he'd probably still be alive. But because we've turned morbid obesity into a celebrated lifestyle, we now live in a world where a fully grown woman can accidentally kill a child by sitting down. And we're all supposed to act like this is normal? Let's put this into perspective. If I sat on a spider and crushed it to death, you'd say, yeah, that makes sense. If I sat on a small dog and crushed it, you'd say, dude, what the hell's wrong with you? So why is a human child being crushed to death not sparking the same reaction? Where's the national outcry? Where's the discussion about how obesity isn't just a personal health issue, it's a public safety hazard? Oh, right, we can't talk about that because that would be fat phobic. Now let's be clear. Kids can be annoying. They whine, they throw tantrums, they always seem to be sticky, they run away, they cause chaos. But sitting on them for 5 minutes until they stop moving, that's not discipline. That's called manslaughter. You know what actually works? Spanking. Spanking actually works. Hey, back in the day, if a kid misbehaved, they got a quick smack on the butt and they learned their lesson. They didn't need 5 minutes of asphyxiation therapy to get the message. We've replaced discipline with psychological warfare. Parents aren't allowed to correct their kids, so they have to come up with these insane punishments. Oh, what? You won't behave? Fine, I'm taking away your iPad for a month. Guess what? That doesn't work. And in this case, instead of just giving Dakota a tap on the butt, Wilson decided to give him a literal near-death experience. Old school parenting. I'll take off my belt if you don't behave. New school parenting. I'll crush your skull with my body weight if you don't listen. Which one's worse? And before anyone says, well, spanking is abuse. No. Murdering a child is abuse. Spanking is discipline. There's a difference. So what happens next? Let's predict the future. Wilson will probably get a plea deal. Serve 2 years, max. The foster system will continue handing kids over to anyone who fills out the paperwork. The media will forget this story exists because it doesn't fit the narrative. The fat acceptance movements will never acknowledge that this is even an issue. And somewhere, right now, another foster child is living with someone just as unqualified to take care of them. And when another tragedy happens, everyone will act shocked, as if we could have never seen this coming from a mile away. But hey, at least Jennifer Wilson got her government checks while it lasted, right? Now, foster care is a business. It's not a charity. It's not an act of kindness. It's a business. And like every business, there are people who exploit it. Obesity is not a harmless lifestyle. It's not cute. It's not just another body type. It's literally a cause of death now. And discipline needs to make a comeback. If a 10-year-old is so out of control that you feel the need to sit on them, maybe, just maybe, you should become a decent parent and learn to raise them with some structure. Dakota Stevens should still be alive, but instead, he was failed by every system that was supposed to protect him. And the people that are responsible, they're going to just move on. But we shouldn't. That's it for today's dose of dark reality. If you agree that this entire situation is disgusting, hit like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and you can come back and watch another rant tomorrow. If you disagree, please feel free to explain why death by foster mom is just one of those things we have to accept in a modern society. I'll wait.